Hi, David here from Making Stuff Easy. For a while now I've been trying to make a star trail picture. Effectively it's taking a picture at night over a long period, either a single exposure or, in my case, multiple pictures that get overlaid to create one single picture. And effectively what we're doing is we're looking at the rotation of the Earth as it impacts the stars in the sky. The Earth is rotating on its axis, but it looks like the stars are actually moving across the sky when the picture comes out. So I've been thwarted in the past because of clouds overnight and too much light in the environment. But I was lucky enough over the weekend to actually get a couple of nights where, well, it was cold, but clear sky, great skies, not too much polluting light. So I actually produced this picture, and I'm going to show you how I actually achieved this. It's a minor bucket list item for me, but I'm pleased I've done it, and let's see how we do it ourselves. Thanks. Let's look at a couple of pictures we're going to use in this short video. I'm using a Canon G7X Mark II, which is a mid-range camera. It's above your standard point and shoot, but below DSLRs in expense and capabilities, but it does great and it's popular with YouTubers. In this particular picture you can see there's too much light leaking behind the bush in the left-hand corner. This is a still night shot using one of the star modes for still photography. No star trails here, but it's actually good, and you can include the trees as some context and some depth of field. This is a short time-lapse star trail picture, and it gave me the indication about how I had my camera positioned in the dark, and it was I wanted the concentric circles in the middle of the screen, and this is a little too far to the left, so I adjusted the camera and tried again after 10 minutes. So it's actually a pretty practical process, and I ended up with this. In this particular shot, the wisp in the bottom left-hand corner is actually some smoke from a house that started to drift in halfway through the exposure. So I'll have to take the picture again another time, but I'm pretty happy with this as a first attempt. You can see the concentric circle pattern is actually in the middle of the picture. So let's look at how we set up the camera. We want scene mode on this camera. Again, it's a Canon G7 Mark II. And once we're in the scene mode, we can actually select the correct scene by pressing on the icon on the top left hand corner, and we want star. You can see the range of them here, but we're going to go back to star and select star mode. And it wants us to put it on a tripod, of course. And then what we actually look to try and do is we actually refine what type of star mode we want. There are 4 settings, and you can see on here from left to right. We'll select those. The first mode on the left hand side is star portrait. It's tends to be for shooting people and a background of stars. I haven't tried that one, and you may want to do that. Star nightscape, that was that still photograph that I showed you earlier of the stars behind the trees for that, and here's that example. So you can see it, a bit of a longer exposure, but it gives you a good depth of field. Star trails, this is the one I'm focusing on at the moment because this is what I was looking to achieve. And again, it gave me this picture here, and it's exactly what I wanted. And this is actually facing south, hence the concentric circles. And then this is a star time-lapse movie, and again I haven't tried that one, so I'm going to go back to star trails because that's what we're focusing on at this time. Press the set button to actually select that mode. You'll also see that I've actually set the shutter timer for 10 seconds so that I can actually press the shutter button and then take my hand off. You'll also see now what I'm doing is I'm using the ring dial on this particular camera to actually change the maximum duration of the photography. It goes up to a maximum of 120 minutes and down to 10 minutes. So I'm just cycling back up and down through those from 120 down to 10, and now I'm going to leave it on 120. You can also see there's an indicator about whether the camera's level. At the moment it's off level, hence the red line, and we'll make sure that that's level when we're taking the picture. So let's see how we actually take the star trail picture. We're doing this in a lit room just for visibility, but just imagine you can do this in the dark. First thing is we press the shutter button and you can see the 10-second delay. Take my hand away. I'm just resting it here on an apron on a table, and indeed when I took my 60-minute picture it was just on a t-shirt on a box in the garden. And you can see it's actually taken one picture and another picture, and then what it starts to do is actually takes a picture periodically. In this particular case it's taking a picture every 4 seconds. When I was doing it in the dark it was taking one every 7 seconds, and so it may vary based on how you're setting it up. But you can see it's just going through, so it's taken 31 seconds out of 120 minutes maximum. If I don't want to run for the whole 120 minutes I can press the shutter button down fully and it'll stop and it'll write the image at that stage. If the battery runs out, then it's it'll save the picture as well, but I didn't try that. Let's have a recap then. Using the camera settings on my particular camera, you can see in this picture here we've actually got some light leakage, so this wasn't any good, so I had to find a new location. So I moved the camera to a new spot, and I found that this actually worked quite well for me, but the concentric circles are a bit low, so I stopped the process after a while. You can also see the trees there for context, and they'll become brighter as you take more pictures over a longer duration. This one's a bit of a refinement, it was nearly there, but the concentric pattern was too far to the left, and so I cancelled after a few minutes once I got the idea of it. And then that allowed me to actually get to this final picture here that I was pretty happy with, despite the smoke in the bottom left hand corner. So hey guys, get out there, try it yourself, look at your manual, see how your camera can set it up, have fun with it, and see whether you can get your good shot. Thanks. If you're viewing this video through the website, then please go to the YouTube channel through the link below and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.